Vanchakalpatrubhischa, Kripa Sindhu Vevacha, Patisampavenabhyo, Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha. Om Gyan Tirumandasya Gyanjana Salakaya, Chakshurmilitam Yena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Turinada Pisunichina, Tarora Pisahishnuna, Amanina Manadena, Kitni Sadari. Anya Balasta Sunyam Gyan Kamadhyana Vritam Anukalanya Krishnanu Shilanam Bhakti Uttama Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Yadvaita Gadata Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari, Hari Ram, Ram Ram, Hari Hari. Dandavat pranams, Danda hugs, Radhe Haribol. So happy to see everybody on this day 23 of our Kartik Vrat. We are now charging through our final week, soon to reach the crescendo of the last 5 days of Kartik and the full moon on Sunday. It's been an epic journey, and the last week will be even more epic. And we're so incredibly fortunate to have Sripad Bhaktivedanta Bhagavat Maharaj, Sripad Bhaktivedanta Nemi Maharaj, Srila Bhaktivedanta Sri Dandi Maharaj, Sripad Bhaktivedanta Ashram Maharaj, and Srimati Shamrani Didi. All have graced us with their beautiful Harikatha through this whole month, nourishing us for all these days. We're very, very grateful. And I'm also very grateful for everyone's consistent coming to this event, offering your Shravan, your service. We're all helping each other keep beautifully nourished in this very special month. So we've been out of Vrindavan for some time. We've been right into Govardhan. We're right in the deep forests of Braj, and today we're in Nandagaon, Pavana-sarovara, Ter-kadamba, Vrnda-kunda, Uddhava-kyari. Maharaj will be speaking on one of these topics of his choice. I just want to also mention, and Maharaj, you may want to close your ears at this point. I don't want to embarrass you too much, but Maharaj has been speaking yesterday at the Global Consciousness Summit. He was speaking alongside illustrious speakers like Tony Robbins, which is an incredible achievement, and it's fantastic. He's getting the message of the Vedas and of Bhakti and of Gurudev out through these type of channels, and he prepared a fantastic video. Maharaj, do you mind if I share that with everybody, the summit?
Go ahead.
He prepared a fabulous video which he made completely all produced by Maharaj, which I think is a great presentation for spiritually interested people who are not devotees. So Maharaj, thank you so much for coming on this first of 2 days, because Maharaj will be with us also tomorrow. So Hare Krishna and welcome again.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams to all devotees. Thank you so much for kindly inviting me to share something. And today, well, when I saw the list of places that it's just such a magical, I can't choose any one place. It's the whole thing. This is actually the nub and focus of the daily pastimes of Radha Krishna, centered around these places. Gurve Gaura Chandraya Radhikai Tadalai Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktai Tadbhaktai Ama Jnana Timirandhasya Gyananjana Shlakaya Chakshuram Militamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namani Namam Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shishimal Bhaktivedanta Narayana Vanchakalpatripishta Kripasandavarta Putitana Vaishnava Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shadait Gadata Harshivasadi Shri Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram. We might think that Varshana is the focus of Srimati Radhika's pastimes, but that's not fact, actually. Because that's where she lived when she was young, lived with her parents. And once a year, during the month of Shravan, she goes back from Yavat, where she usually lives, and she's performing pastimes with her girlfriends there, and then Krishna comes at that time. And most of the pastimes there, Shri Goswami says, most of the pastimes there, Krishna is disguised in some way or another so as to get her association. Disguised as a barber's daughter, or a Vanamali, a garland maker's daughter, or so many different. But the real focus is between Nandagaon and Yavat. So Yavat is a very, very secret place. Generally speaking, only a Gaudiya Vaishnavas know this place, Yavat. This is the place where Srimati Radhika lives with her supposed in-laws, and her associate girlfriends are all living around as well with their in-laws. And there's a hive of intrigue there. Vrishabhanopure Janama Loide Yavate Vivaha Habe. So Narottam Thakur is saying that, when will it come that I will be born in Vrishabhanupur, means in Varshana, where Vrishabhanu Baba and Kirtida Devi, they're living. And then Yavate Vivaha Habe, my marriage, I will be married in Yavat. Does Narottam Thakur want to be married in his spiritual form to some handsome goat? No. No. But this is a celebration of Parikiya Ras, where Krishna is associating with his own internal potency, internal spiritual potency, but they're all enclosed. It seems like they're all enclosed by all sorts of unfavorable circumstances, and the most unfavorable circumstances are those surrounding Srimati Radhika. Jyotila Kotila are there. They're always looking to see, always. They pride themselves on being very chaste, and they're always watching to see if any disgrace should come on the family. So much intrigue there, so many cunning and funny stories there. Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur has written his Chamatkar, Chandrika Chamatkar, moonbeams of astonishment. So astonishment is actually a key ingredient of the Braj pastimes. Krishna turns up in astonishing ways. Once he comes to Yavat dressed as Abhimanyu, and he tells his mother that rascal Krishna's coming, and he's dressed himself up as me. Can you imagine? And Jyotila says, "Oh, I'll deal with that nonsense when he comes. You go and take Radhika and you go to some safe place with her." Telling her, thinking that she's talking to her son. So Krishna goes off with Srimati Radhika, and then Abhimanyu comes, and Jyotila's beating him and chastising him. And he said, "Oh my God, I think my mother's gone mad." And he's running away. And when Mother Yashoda in Nandagaon creates a beautiful casket of jewels and presents of Srimati Radhika, and Abhimanyu comes to pick up the casket, but in the meantime, Krishna's taken out all the jewels and the cloth and everything, hidden them somewhere, and he's put himself in this big box. And Abhimanyu is taking this heavy box, thinking, "Wow, so many rich presents for my dear wife." And then he has to leave the box and then retire. And all the gopis are feeling that something extraordinary is going to happen. And Krishna pops out of the box. So many extraordinary pastimes. And it's there that, especially that's the focus. For example, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, the focus of his Ujjvala Nilamani is his service to Srimati Radhika when she's living in Yavat. In the morning, after they've come back from Sanketa, wherever they've been. So Tulsi Manjari is elaborately describing the deep separation from that seva. Raghunath Das Goswami is writing these verses in Bahirdasha state, means outward consciousness, deeply, deeply, deeply in separation from the pastimes, and writing these beautiful poems, Vilat Kusmanjali, a handful of flowers in the forms of sweet and bittersweet laments. Describing how dressing Srimati Radhika, decorating her beautiful hands and fingers, decorating her toes with special rings, dressing her, putting special tilak with special rings too, which is in the form of a mahaushadhi, is big, powerful medicine to tie down that mad elephant of Krishna. Even like cleaning Srimati Radhika's teeth and painting red lines on her teeth, ruby red lines. So many aspirations are there. And then in the morning, Yashoda wants Srimati Radhika to cook for Krishna, because Srimati Radhika has received the boon from Durvas Muni that anything she cooks will taste like nectar, and anyone who eats it will be blessed, they'll be very strong and they'll live a long life. So Mother Yashoda is thinking, oh, Krishna's becoming very lean and skinny, and so she very much wants that Srimati Radhika will cook for him. And she thinks of Srimati Radhika as Krishna's beloved, although it's anyway, she thinks, let me put it this way, she thinks of Srimati Radhika, she relates to Srimati Radhika as her daughter-in-law, although she's married to somebody else, formally speaking. Like when Srimati Radhika came when she was a little girl, she came from Varshana, and Yashoda put turmeric on her hand to signify that, okay, now she's betrothed to Krishna. And Radha went back, and then she washed off all the kumkum in the pilipoka. So she wants Radha to cook. Jyotil is reluctant. She says, no, she'll get bitten by that black snake. So then Purnamasi turns up and says, oh, if you don't send Radha, I'm seeing from the horoscope that if you don't send Radha, then your son will die and all the cows will die. So then Jyotil is calling Radha, Radhe, come here, you have to go to Nandagaon to cook for Krishna. And Radha's going, no, I won't go. There's too many rumors, I don't like it at all. I refuse. And then Jyotil is scolding and just in the end, oh, all right, I'll go. And Raghunath Das Goswami describes how there's a path, I've walked it 2-3 times, from Yavat to Nandagaon through Ter-kadamba. Amazing. So, of course, that Vrindavan can open and close like a lotus. So somebody can be, they can be miles apart, but if they need to be together, then the lotus can close up and they can step from one petal to another and like that. Anyway, Radha, on one side is Lalita, the other side is Shaka. Rupa Manjari is going ahead to check out the coast is clear. Rati Manjari, Tulsi Manjari, she's walking behind. She's holding Srimati Radhika's waist in case it breaks. So devoted. And Radha's slipping in ecstasy. She can't even walk properly. And then when they arrive in Nandagaon, Dhanishta is waiting up at the top. And when she sees them coming, this beautiful, effulgent group, they're going through Ter-kadamba. Sometimes Krishna's there milking the cows. Lalita may say to Srimati Radhika, oh, is debauchee Krishna's there? I don't think we should go there. We can go, Radha says. So then Krishna, when the milk comes out of their udders, cow's udders, it's quite forceful. So Krishna's milking, and then very cunningly, he bathes Srimati Radhika in that milk. The cow's very happy, and he's giving her abhishek, and she's as if offended. It's all to increase their mood of different rasas. As she's going away, somehow or other she breaks her pearl necklace. And then all the pearls are scattered down, and then she's trying to find the pearls, and at the same time looking out of the corner of her eyes to see Krishna. They all can understand it, so it's a trick. And then finally she collects all the pearls, but Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, I forget his name in Krishna, her name. But she lags behind. So Radha is always turning back. Oh, come here. Hey, Saki, come here. What are you doing? Why are you so slow? I mean, she always has to keep looking back, and she's seeing Krishna all the time. So that's the service of that. And then they get to Nandagaon, and Dhanishta runs down to greet them, takes them to Mother Yashoda. Mother Yashoda's Radha bows down to her lotus feet. And then Mother Yashoda touches Radha's forehead with her forehead. And she puts her hand behind, like very, very affectionately. And then she says, well, Rohini's cooked all the basic preparations, so you can make some special preparations. And so many fires there. It's hot like anything. As Srimati Radhika takes off most of her clothes, she's dressed in a very, very light, even her bangles and everything she takes off, and her arms are decorated by their marks. And then she's dancing from one fire to another, putting in these magic ingredients, and everyone's at their cauldrons making these amazing. She never cooks the same thing twice, ever. And everyone's making these beautiful preparations. Nandagaon. Then Mother Yashoda may even suggest to Srimati Radhika that she can serve. Maybe she can go and serve Krishna. She's so shy, no, she couldn't do that. But there's a hall that she's peeking through to see what's going on. And then Krishna pretends like this big sweet bowl like this. I forget what the name is, something laddu. And Krishna takes a bite, and then he makes a face like, oh, so bitter. And then he puts it on the plate of the next saka. And then later on, they have brief secret meeting before he goes off to herd the cows. And then she goes back, and she's practically cursing her friends. Why are you taking me back to this wretched place, to Yavat? They're like snakes, always biting and biting and biting. So much separation, deep separation. And then Krishna will send the garland to revive her. And then there's a message where they can meet. So the whole place is surrounded by so many pastime places, Nanda Baitak is just close to Nandagaon. I described already the pastime there where Nanda's discussing with his brothers whether Krishna is God or not, and laughing at them, thinking. And Ter-kadamba, such an amazing place. When we first were with Gurudev, we couldn't get there. It was very, very difficult to get there. It was submerged by water. There were thorns, there were snakes, everything. And then one year we got there, and we were literally wading, I mean, above your knees in water to get there. And Uddhava-kyari was even more out of reach. So Ter-kadamba is that magic place where Radha and Krishna are meeting in the mornings. And he's calling. Ter means calling. Kadamba. So there used to be a kadamba tree there, and Shri Rupa Goswami, he made his bhajan kutia there. We used to go there with Gurudev, and Gurudev's mood there was so deep, so deep. He would have Krishna's Prabhu singing Yan Kali Rupa, Yan Kali Rupa, Sharirandha. What if Rupa Goswami had not appeared in this Kali Yuga? What would we have known? Lord Chaitanya came, but how would we have understood anything? And Srila Gurudev gave his commentary on the song. Very, very deep mood. Very deep mood. And that's the place where Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, they were giving Harikatha. Sanatana Goswami came, and Srimati Radhika herself came. Maybe she was fascinated with Harikatha, I don't know. Or just because they hadn't gone out to do Madhukari. And she cooked some sweet rice, and they didn't know who it was. And then when Sanatana Goswami tasted it, it became totally in so much ecstasy. He said, you know, this is not ordinary sweet rice. You know, this is Srimati Radhika herself cooked this. Rup, did you have some desire? And Rup said, well, actually, I did wish I had something to offer to my older brother. And Sanatana Goswami was like gently chastising, don't do this, don't disturb Srimati Radhika. Like our Param Gurudev, Srila Keshav Maharaj, when his godbrother came on Ekadashi, and he was thinking, well, how can I want to give him some nice sweets. And this sparrow came with a little envelope with some paisa in it. Crazy. I mean, where do you ever see sparrows like that? So Ter-kadamba, now, even now, nobody lives there actually. There used to be, I mean, it used to be a really dangerous place. There was I think he did used to live there. There was an old sadhu there. And Gurudev praised him like anything. And now there's another, I forget his name, Rishikesh Maharaj, I think. It's very, very jolly. And then a younger sannyasi also there, but they don't live there. They've got a Gaudiya Math in Nandagaon somewhere. So they come out in the morning and they stay there during the day, and then they go back in the evening. Such a magic place. It's sand there. You can roll in the sand. And there, like in Pavana-sarovara, there's these trees bent right over. It's such a magic place, beautiful place. And then, not far from Nandagaon, there's Lalita-kunda. Lalita-kunda, there's a swing there. So Lalita one day was making a garland, and Narada Muni came. And he says, I'm just trying it for size. I know how big Krishna is. And Narada Muni said, so she gave gave the garland to Krishna. And then Narada Muni said, I just want boon. Yes, what's that? I want to see the two of you swinging together. That would be so beautiful. So they were sitting on the swing and swinging. And then, like a flash, Narada's off to wherever Srimati Radhika was. And he comes in singing on his veena. Lalita Ramana Name, Lalita Ramana Name. And Radha says, hey Naraji, usually you're singing Radhika Ramana Name. Why today Lalita Ramana Name? And Narada says, oh, you didn't know? Lalita and Krishna, they're performing Ramana. What? I never gave permission. Yes, I can show you. So he takes Srimati Radhika there and she sees. So Srimati Radhika is so happy for Krishna to associate with her girlfriends, with Lalita, Vishaka and all like that, especially midday pastimes, honey wine pastimes, Radha and Krishna together for some time, and then practically she sends him away to associate with all the others. She expands to be with all the others. So she's happy. She's really happy for Krishna to associate with others, but with her permission. But this time, no permission. So she was in man after that. And finally, when Krishna broke her man, so then he said, you know, I warned you, be careful with Narada Muni. He's very, very, very tricky. There used to be, previously when Gurudev was with us, it's now the father of Govinda Prabhu, who lives at Nandagaon. So he used to come and he would sing very nice at Lalita-kunda. There's a beautiful lake there. And he would, so Mother Yashoda is saying, Krishna, you've stolen butter. And Krishna's saying, no. How's that? Nahi mai makana chorai. Something like that. And he's giving so many excuses. He's saying so many alibis. Saying, you know, I get up in the morning, you feed me, then I have a bath, then I go out and feed the cows. When would I get the chance to feed butter, to steal butter? And then he becomes like as if angry, and he says, "Oh, you're not really my mother. You're making these false accusations." And Mother Yashoda is saying, "No, actually, I know you didn't steal butter." And then I don't remember how the Hindi goes, but he's saying almost exactly the same words, but he's saying, "Yeah, actually, I did steal butter. Many makana chura." He used to sing there. Nandagaon, this is a place, actually is built on the head of Shivji, Nandishvara. So just like Varshana is on the head of Brahmaji, and there's the 4 mountains, which are the 4 heads of Brahma. So Nandagaon is on the head of Lord Shiva, and there's Darshan there. So that's obviously a place of Vatsalya Bhav. And also Sakya Bhav, because the cowherd boys are there also. They live in the area. In the mornings they come in. Krishna may be up late, still asleep even. Mother Yashoda doesn't want to wake him because it's inauspicious to wake somebody up suddenly, but the cowherd boys, they don't care. They just jump on his bed. And Mother Yashoda's seeing the scratch marks on Krishna and thinking, oh, those suckers, they're so rough with him when they're wrestling and all like that. Or maybe it's the thorns in the bushes. And then Madhumangala is saying, no, he's been playing with the Sakis. But Saki can mean either cowherd boys or cowherd girls. And Krishna's warning Madhumangala, and then he's like telling him with his eyes, look, shut up and then I'll give you a laddu. Madam Mangal's laughing and laughing. Then down the road from Nandagaon is Uddhava-kyari. So that's a very, very, very special place. It's actually it's Vishaka's place. She would entertain Radha and Krishna there, and Radha and Krishna would perform ras, and that platform is there. But it's also when he came, Krishna sent him to Braj. And apart from that, I'm disciple of Rashpati, and I'm very close relative of Krishna. And he sent me to pacify his mother. Of course, she's not his real mother and father. He was actually born in Nandagaon, Gokul Mahaban. They were his real parents. It's a secret, though. Even Shukadev is not giving that completely. Sometimes he's hiding discreetly because he's talking to Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj is one of the adults. So then Uddhav, when he met with Nanda Baba, Mother Yashoda, he was more than astounded, beyond astounded. Because they don't understand that he's trying to make them understand that Krishna is actually God, and it doesn't work. He can't get them to understand. And still, their love for Krishna is beyond words, beyond feelings, beyond anything he could possibly imagine. Absolutely, totally beyond. So in that chastened state, he went out to perform his morning duties, and then he met with the gopis. So the gopis are singing. So he's come in very gorgeous regalia. He really looks like Krishna, and he's driving the same chariot that Akrura drove to take Krishna to Braj. So the gopis make so many very sarcastic comments, like maybe he's come back to offer our bodies as Shraddha to Kamsa. Wicked comments they're making. And he's meeting with the gopis, because Krishna told him to do that. And then Srimati Radhika is lying on a bed of lotus petals. And as they're like that, so she sees a bumblebee. And she's seeing the bumblebee, she's chastising the bumblebee, but at the same time, by chastising the bumblebee, she's also chastising Uddhav. And she's chastising Uddhava as an unreliable servant of an unreliable master. And Uddhav is completely astounded because he knows what is, conjugal love. But the way that Srimati Radhika is chastising the bumblebee, and obviously chastising Krishna as well. Oh, you've got kumkum on your whiskers. That means you've been on the garland of some gopi who's been embraced by Krishna. Don't come to me. Don't come to me now. So many very, very, very deep words. Krishna sent Uddhav in order to associate with the Brajbasis. And he wanted, of course, because the height of the Braj mood is pastimes between Radha and Krishna, or gopis and Krishna, Krishna and the gopis. And he wanted Uddhav to get some sort of flavor of that so that he could speak, just like he can speak with Madhu Mangal, and even more, he can speak with Subal Saka. But Uddhav, Gurudev said that Uddhav couldn't even get into the, he couldn't even pass the entrance examination of the gopis school. There's a beautiful, beautiful deity there I mentioned before. Uddhav is such a blissful personality, so delightful. So Gurudev went there and he excavated the pond. It's a beautiful pond, Vrnda-kunda there, very clear water. And then he planted so many kadamba trees there because previously there had been a forest of kadamba trees, and then some or other, I don't know how, but they flooded the whole area, and that's why we couldn't get there ever. And then all the kadamba trees died. So Gurudev dug out the kund, and then he planted kadamba trees. And then the local government officials got really got in his case for having done all that without their permission, not according to regulations. He was really angry about that. So Uddhava-kyari, yeah, it's a very, very, very deep place. And Srila Gurudev was there. I heard that Gurudev was there with his Guru Maharaj. And his Guru Maharaj, I mean, that time it was different than when we went. It was wild, jungle. So his Guru Maharaj was giving, Srila Keshav Maharaj was giving Harikirtan, the deer were coming out of the forest. And Gurudev, when he related that to the devotees, he was crying and tears are falling on his chadar. So just like Srila Bharati Maharaj said, when we go on Parikarama, actually we should go with devotees in whose hearts this fire of separation is burning, and then we may also feel some roots of separation from the pastime places and these beautiful pastimes and the personalities have been there. On the other side of Nandagaon also is Vrnda-kunda. I've only been there once actually. No, our Tridandi Maharaj, he lived there for a long time. Very, very beautiful place, beautiful deity of Vrinda Devi there. So she helps. Pavana-masi also lives there quite close. Vrinda Devi is favorable to Krishna. And she's the form of Yoga Maya in Madhurya Ras. Pavana-masi is also a form of Yoga Maya, but she's on the outskirts of Madhurya Ras. She knows what's going on completely and she facilitates everything. So Vrnda and Pavana-masi, they may meet often and decide, which demons are going to come and get killed, what pastimes are going to take place, what bird should go where, what deer should go where. Vrinda's astounding mistress of ceremonies, arranging festivals of meeting and separation for Radha and Krishna, and having funny pastimes with Krishna also. Like Krishna may meet with the gopis and say, "What are you doing here? This is my place. This place belongs to me." "Oh, how it belongs to you?" "Because this place is Vrindavan. It belongs to Vrinda and I'm married to Vrinda." "Oh, you're married to Vrinda? Call Vrinda." So they call Vrinda. Vrinda comes. "So you're married to this black fellow?" He says, "You're married? No, I wouldn't marry him. Nobody wants to marry him. It's a big problem for his parents. No one wants to marry him." And they're all laughing and clapping. And such sweet pastimes of teasing and all to increase this ras. Okay, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
That was beautiful, Maharaj. That was quite dreamy actually. Felt like I was in a Braj dream. Beautiful, very soft and very flowing. You mentioned quite somewhere in the middle, maybe towards the earlier part, about Lalita-kunda. Do you know anything about the appearance of Lalita-kunda?
No.
No special
Just-
pastime.
No, just that there's the Julenstali, there's the swing, and then just further down there's Lalita Kund. Very beautiful Kund, actually.
As we're approaching near the end of Kartik, what would be your advice? I mean, this has been quite an intensive program, actually. What with Sripad Bhaktivedanta Tridandi Maharaj's classes and this every day, and I know devotees have been tuning into other things. So David Kishori also have been doing some wonderful broadcasting. What do you suggest for getting prepared for post-Kartik? Because we don't want to experience that kind of yo-yoing of consciousness. So how do we prepare ourselves for Kartik +1?
I don't think you can really. I mean, in one sense, the question of re-entry is always there. This pastime when devotees ask Srila Gurudev at the end of Kartik, we've been with you. It's so easy to control our minds when we're with you, but how can we possibly control our minds when we go back home? It's so difficult. And then Gurudev said, "Oh, bring your beads." So they were sitting and chanting japa, and Gurudev was looking at the devotees looking at Gurudev. And then Gurudev said, "So your mind wandered?" "No." He said, "No, how could your mind wander? Because we're sitting and we're chanting japa together, and you're looking at me and I'm looking at you. So when you go back home, you should take your beads and you think, now I'm chanting with my Gurudev. We're chanting japa together, and Gurudev is chanting on his beads, and he's looking at me. I'm chanting on my beads, and I'm looking at Gurudev." And he said that like this, your mind will not wander. Gurudev is our refuge. I mean, all this Braj Katha, of course, my Guru Maharaj has given so much, and he set up the whole thing. But Gurudev is the one who's taken us on this festival of Braj Katha and revealed the pastimes to us in so many ways. At least that's how we experienced. I didn't get to go on Parikarama with my Guru Maharaj. I'm not sure he went with his devotees. Not sure.
It's funny, in all these years, I've never thought of actually chanting with Gurudev. That's beautiful. That's wonderful. Hare Krishna. Raghva, Malini, Madhavrat, Pudari, anyone else? Subhadra, you have a question? Ruben? Hari Priya?
Krishna's footprint is there. Krishna's footprint is close there as well.
Krishna's footprint.
Go down. Go down from. It's more or less its opposite Vrnda-kunda, actually. But with Gurudev, we always went to see the footprint. We never went to see. I never went to Vrnda-kunda with Gurudev. And that's the footprint that Akrura was worshipping. Very clear one. And Gurudev would see Akrura, he's in ecstasy, rolling on the down, crying, shivering, on seeing this footprint. And what we're doing, everyone's just taking photographs with their smartphones. Totally spaced out from, I
think you've blissed everyone out, Maharaj. Yeah, everyone's kind of blissed out. Hey, can you play one of your amazing instruments?
My amazing instruments.
Yeah, like I'm just saying generically, so you can spontaneously choose which one.
Yeah, just not.
You have a question, Manini?
Yeah, I actually was thinking about this. It's about Jatila. What is Jatila and Kotila, or the godmother and godsister of Radha? Are they like the only ones in Vrindavan who don't have love and affection for Krishna, or do they have the affection and it's just covered over because of all of the drama with the Parakiya Bhav? Because it seems like with the
It's
other
very difficult to say.
Gopis, they're they might complain about Krishna, but they still have so much affection that we hear. But it seems like Jatila seems not to have it. So at least as far as I can tell, and I'm very little. So
there's no in Aprakat Lila. There's no Jatila Kotila. They're only in Prakat Lila. And yeah, they seem to be personifications of unfavorable moods. But actually, their part is very important because they're guarding Parakiya Ras. If it was easy for Radha and Krishna to meet, then there wouldn't be such Ras. But it's extremely difficult for them to meet. So it means that when the gopis finally meet, so they've had to give up so much. Said Radha is more afraid of Jyotila than she's afraid of tigers. Because they're pious. We don't know what piety means. But they guard the pastimes and create different, more and more. Like Jyotila prevents Radha from going to see Krishna, and then Radha pretends that she's been bitten by a snake. And Krishna comes dressed as a doctor's daughter and massaging Radha right in front of Jyotila Kotila. Shrimati is anyway undressed, and this doctor's daughter is massaging her, and then, oh, I have to give her some special medicine, and putting chewed pan. This doctor's daughter is putting chewed pan from her mouth into Radha's mouth. So how much mischievous delight there is in carrying out these pastimes in those situations. And then the doctor's daughter says, okay, well, I have to go off now. And Jyotila says, no, it's very, very late. I can't allow you to go. Radha, you have to, the two of you will have to sleep together this evening. This is the astonishment. And there's another pastime when Radha was in Man, and Krishna came dressed as a very beautiful girl. And some or other, Srimati Radhika understood. And she gave her some special clothes, and then insisted that she changed into those clothes. And of course, this new girl is very, very shy. She says, no, we're all girls together. So they forcibly undressed her, and these big kadamba flowers fell out, like falsies. And they're all laughing. But Krishna felt like defeated on that occasion, so he went round to see, in front of Jyotila's house, this girl is rolling on the ground and crying and crying. Jyotila comes out and says, what's wrong? She says, I come to say I'm a relative of Radha, and she won't embrace me, she won't accept me. So he wants that Jyotila will chastise Radha. So then Jyotila calls Radha, Radha, why don't you accept this girl? And then Radha says, oh, mother, you don't know what terrible things she said about Kundalata. Now, Kundalata is actually Krishna's cousin. So they're not allowed to touch each other by Vedic etiquette. But Jyotila, she tells Radha, now you have to, Radha is saying that this Krishna girl has been saying terrible things about Kundalata. So Jyotila tells this Krishna girl that, oh, then you have to embrace Kundalata and make up. And all the gopis are laughing because, I mean, for us it's no big deal, but for them it's like, it's another victory for Radha and the gopis over Krishna. And Krishna is totally absorbed in the delight of it all. Yavat is such a place. And Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, he's woven his spell there with his Chandrika Chamatkar. We used to go there, this beautiful courtyard, big tree there. And Srila Gurudev, he gave a lot of backing to the sadhus there. And Krishna Das would sing. What's the song there for Yavat? It's describing.
Dekite, is it? Oh.
Yeah. Dekite. So it's describing pastimes of realizing Sakhi Bhav. I remember Ramachandra there once asking Gurudev, this at the time of Bhav, we get 11 special moods, but this song only describes 5 moods. What about the others? And Gurudev laughed. He said, oh, you don't know. It describes them all. There's so many deep mysteries in it. Gurudev was just laughing at it. One time I went with Shanti Didi and Uma Didi. We had some questions about Jaiva Dharma. It was when we were editing Jaiva Dharma. And Gurudev explained something. I goes, oh. And he goes, oh, you don't understand anything. Just very sweet, he said, just very calm. It was so nice. Gurudev said, like when we hear these songs or these prayers, the moods of the Premi Bhaktas and the moods of neophytes, he said it's like heaven and earth. Difference between their moods when we hear the prayers or when we hear the songs. And when they hear the prayers or when they hear the songs, I mean, they're transported. Anyway, our time will come. My time's practically come.
Just a little of that instrument, Maharaj. I'm greedy for it.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. I have a special ras with Yashoda. I can put him into a trance by
You already were when you were speaking, answering Manini's question. You were pinging that thing, and I was going off. I don't know. Does anyone else experience that when he's giving Harikirtan? And there's this
really?
background. I'm just off with the fairies, man. It's amazing.
When I was making, when we were living
the same, right? It's just beautiful.
When we were living together, I would make offerings, and ringing the bell, and he'd be out of his desk.
Well, it was better than that, because you'd come in, I'd be working, you'd have no idea what impact you're having, and then, like, within about a minute of him doing an offering, I'd be almost drooling, It's beautiful. Oh.
Okay, dear devotees, please excuse me. I have another appointment now.
Yes, of course, you got to go to the Ruskies. Haribol Maharaj, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your very
Haribol,
kind
thank you so much.
association.
Maharaj, thank you.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Wonderful. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Dandavats, 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 dandavats.
So you,
Thank you from Mask Land.
Are you singing Hotel California tonight, Manini?
Yeah, right. I was going to do Damodar Ashtakam.
Oh, I think that would be better. Yeah.
Okay.
Over to you, my dear.
Okay.
Yeah, same time tomorrow, 6 p.m. UK time, 1 p.m. EST, New Zealand time, 7 a.m. Tuning into New Zealand now. Continental time, 7 p.m. Beautiful. Thank you. Haribol Manini, take it away.
I hope to get a mridanga for Christmas, so maybe I'll learn how to play, but for now I'll just offer this seva.
Is that a little request for someone to buy you one for Christmas?
No, I'm actually going to, I think Krishna is going to arrange, so I feel very, but if anyone wants to contribute, I certainly welcome. All right. Namamishvaram Sachidhanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namamishvaram Sachidhanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashoda Biholuka Ladavamanam Param Ristamacyantato Jutya Gopya Shoda Biholuka Ladavamanam Param Ristamacyantato Jutya Gopya Namamishvaram Sachidhanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajanamanam Rudantam Muhurnetra Yugmam Rijantam Karamboja Yugmena Satankanetram Mahushvasakanka Trirekanka Kanta Stita Graiva Damodaram Bhakti Bharam Namamishvaram Sachidhanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Iti Driksvalilabir Anandakunde Swagosham Namajantam Akyapayantam Tadihechita Gensu Bhaktejitadvam Puna Prematas Tam Shatavriti Vande Namamishvaram Sachidhanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Varam Deva Mokshamna Moksha Vadimva Nachanyam Vrineham Varesharapiha Idam Te Vapurnata Gopalabalam Sadame Manasya Virasnam Kimanyahi Namamishvaram Sachidhanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Idam Te Mukambojam Avyaktanile Vritam Kuntalai Snigda Raktesh Jagopya Muhus Chumbitam Bimba Raktadarame Manasya Virastam Halam Lakshalabahi Namamishvaram Sachidhanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Kuvera Macho. Oh, I skipped a verse, excuse me. Namo Deva Damodara Nanta Vishnu Prasida Prabodhuka Jalapti Magnam Kripadristi Vrisyati Dinam Patanu Grihane Samamagnyam Edyaksi Drisyaha Namamishvaram Sachidanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Kuvera Majobara Murtyai Vayadva Tvayamochito Bhakti Bhajo Krito Cha Tata Prema Bhaktim Svakam Me Prayacha Namokshe Grahom Mesti Damodareha Namamishvaram Sachidanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Go Kule Brajamanam Namaste Sudamne Svuradiptidamne Tvadildarayata Vishvasya Damne Namo Radhikaye Tvadia Priyaye Namo Radhikaye Tvadia Priyaye Namo Nantalilaya Devaya Tubhyam Namo Radhikaye Tvadia Priyaye Namo Radhikaye Tvadia Priyaye Namo Radhikaye Tvadia Priyaye Namo Nantalilaya Devaya Tubhyam Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Haribo, 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 Nitai Gora, Haribo, Nitai Gora, Haribo, 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 Gora, Haribo. Jai for Kartik Rod.
Jai Hari Bol, Jai Dandaskram. Thank you, Mami. Hari
Thank you all
Bol.
for the service opportunity and for a beautiful class today. Haribo.
Hari Hari.